Give us a general fund. Please give us a general fund. Please, 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 please.
Hello, this is Rita, and this is me and my mommy's podcast, and then my mommy, and there's me, and I'm just talking about this stuff, and there's me tap dancing, because this is the tap dancing autism podcast, and there's a bunch of animals, and I'll be trying to eat my hair, and there's a bunch of sand in the ocean, tap dancing. Oh, and also there's my boots. My boots are amazing. Also, there's me, trying not to have a panic attack. Also, this is a podcast about me, autism, and tap dancing, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just ADHD in this thing. Also, this is your adorable puppy.
Hey, Leta, how are you doing? Today, we're going to do a special Leta's Tap Styles and My Autistic Life, focusing on the nonprofit dance studio you started. We are at a point that we need donors to help bridge the gap between funding. And if we don't get the donors, we are going to have to close down the studio, aren't we? You're giving me a thumbs up, but this is still a podcast. You have to say something. We need to find about 800 in recurring donations by the 23rd of this month. I'd prefer the 20th to make sure it gets through the bank account before we have to pay rent on the 25th. For those of our listeners who don't know why we started Autistic Wings, can you give them why we started Autistic Wings, Leta?
I'm going to try statistics about being disabled. And disabled, disabled, that's the word, right? Right, but like, by accident, but still hurtful. It's just a word, right? I used to
Ableist?
Oh, yeah. I used the wrong word.
Can you elaborate a little bit on how they were being ableist and how it made you feel?
Hey, don't talk to me like a dog. B, I'm not a dog. And C, but my age, you can't do 1.0. People have the mentality of 3-year-old and then ask me, are you worried about your SATs even though I was freaking.
Okay, to explain, you had a lot of teachers who expected you to not have autistic quirks. They were like, I know autism, but things like your voice being higher pitched, their response to that was, well, that says Leta has the mentality of a toddler or a preschooler, and they treated you like that, didn't they? But then because you were up with the high schoolers, because your talent's up with the high schoolers, they were asking the 11-year-old why you weren't worried about your SATs or your driver test yet. And you're like, what was your response to them doing this to you?
I just walked away. Also, when I'm not in eighth grade. I'm not in 8th grade. I'm not.
You're finished with middle school now, but when all this was going down, you were in late elementary and early middle school, and you're like, hi, 5th grader here. What are you doing asking the 5th grader about being in high school?
Yeah. I also asking the 5th grader why the 5th grader wasn't dating even though 5th grade. I don't think anyone dates in that time frame, and if they did, I would give them the side eye because A, too young, B, still too young, and C, too young. It's kindergarten, don't know what a relationship is. Go. Like, come on, no middle school is doing that.
Let's discuss a few quick other autistic things that you used to have issues with dance teachers on, like eye contact, which everyone who's ASD knows that eye contact does not happen.
No, I use in the classroom as their diary book, and I already know way too much about their relationship. I don't need to know what their soul is. I don't need to know the parts that they hide from me. If there's any such parts at all, because I feel like they used much of their class as a diary book. And then they'll shut up. And I just want to say, hello, yes. You know, the institution you shut because your students are obviously learning not to shut up because you won't stop yabby, and you sound like a baby chick hungry for your parents still watch it.
Teenagers are amazing as a co-host for a podcast. Anywho, so there was also a lot of complaints about you stimming, and attempts to correct how you were stimming. The look you're giving me is like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one. So can mom take this one? Just nod yes. Okay, I got a deal. So I would be the bad mom going up and going, hey, you do realize stimming is unconscious. She is not doing this on purpose. You can try, because your stim usually is a tap move. And from the time you were in little kid ballet to the time you left traditional studios, people would be like, she's not doing it right. It's like, I'm sorry that unconsciously she's doing a much harder tap move than you've ever taught my daughter. But I don't know, maybe don't try to fix the unconscious stimming. And I had one teacher come up to me and tell me because you weren't using a fidget toy, you weren't stimming. Do you want to take that one?
Okay. Not my fault I don't got that good of motor skills in my fingers to use the fidget toys. Now, only if I had good motor skills in my fingers, I'd use the fidget toys. So I'm just gonna fidget around with Caesar. Hey, if I somehow get a fair in the future, I'm just gonna fidget around with wee little fair pause and just fight, like play fight with Spirit. If Ella will allow me, just use her tail.
Well, and another thing, like a lot of autistic kids tend to grab their hands behind their back or in front of them. It's a thing. We all do it. I was going to an adult dance class where they're like, don't do that. And I'm like, hi, this is me saying I'm nervous. This is me saying I'm uncomfortable in this situation.
Okay, you
And
can't keep telling everybody to keep their hands to themselves, and then when they do, go don't.
it rules.
What?
You mean rules.
No, but rules should count as your morals because your rules should be based off of your morals. And if your rules are not based off of your morals, you are a non-okay and have no morals in life.
So at the same time, all of this was going down. Since you were 8, you have worked with Chloe Arnold. I should probably clarify that. Emmy nominated Chloe Arnold. You have been on Emmy nominated Chloe Arnold's International Youth Tap Company Soul Talk since you were 9. And these teachers coming out to me going, Leta will never be able to tap in LA. Leta would never be able to go to our master classes we go to. Leta would never be able to be in the same room as Chloe Arnold. Did that ever confuse you as much as it confused me? You're like, I am messing with my hair. I'll answer that in just a sec.
What? I'm sorry, my hair's crazy. Also, the only thing I did was go. I because everything is gross. Hey, also, do you think no on the plane? No, like the airport's too noisy and the plane's like too noisy and the plane's like squished. Yeah.
You're like the old Chris Ledoux Western Skies. You're like, that's my theme song right now.
Yes. Also, plus, I don't think you got this kept saying, you'll never live in Hollywood. Living in Hollywood? Like, if any of my Hollywood friends somehow stumble upon this, I love all you people. I just love.
You hanging on that, and that's a good opinion to have. You're like, I want ranch, land, and not being able to see my closest neighbor. And to be under, I mean, the sky is much bigger here than it is in LA. And you got the mountains. Though you're currently in Colorado and not New Mexico, but New Mexico's your home and your birthland. And do not give me that look. Your hair is just fine. Anyways, moving forward. So you and I kind of at the exact same time went, F this. You're giving me a look. You had been doing it a little longer. And we went ahead and we pulled you out of traditional studios and we started the nonprofit Autistic Wings Dance Company as a place where every autistic dancer is welcome. We allow them to be themselves, quirks and all. And you're getting tired of all of this saying it, but it's kind of become a tagline, which is probably why you're tired. It is a place where dancers like you, Leta, can have a studio home where people accept them for who they are. we are teaching our teachers everything from your hair is a mess. Just get over it. I didn't tell you we were filming. I kind of went, get down here right now, Leta. We're filming this. Good thing the podcast studio is in the house still. Your hair looks like a wavy mess. It's okay. Everyone still loves you with your hair wavy mess. But one of the things that sets Autistic Wings apart from traditional dance studios, besides the fact that we have smaller class sizes, besides the fact that we tend to go more towards therapy requirements on class sizes, which means 1 to 4 kids per class, besides the fact that we try to keep our tuition within therapy norms, just in case anyone wants to get their health insurance to pay for it. We are very autistic led, community based, community informed. And that autism informed is the biggest part, I think, that sets us apart from a lot of these other studios trying to do autistic dance classes. We've said this before, a lot of the autistic dance classes, you can either do creative movement and be in an autistic dance class, or you can be, we accept autistic people, in quotes, and be in those traditional studios and mask and fit into that traditional mold. Our studio has, like I said, 1 to 4 kids per class. We have that dance studio IEP where we sit down with parents and go, tell me everything I need to know about your child. Tell me their secondary diagnosis. Because how many parents have you heard me complain about? Just go, my child has speech delays.
Me? Not touching that one was 10-foot stick. I'm smart, not stupid.
Okay, and I think your mic just picked up my laugh. It was that big of a laugh. I hate it is. No, like, so the IEP was your idea. You were really smart about that. You're like, we need to know all the secondary diagnoses, Mom.
Also, plus, I was the one to remind you outies. And sensory issues as well. Also, might also have allergies.
And no, I mean, the allergies was important. The sensory issues were important because let's go back to the speech real quick. Speech is not anything. You tell me your child has speech issues, and I'm like, could you please clarify? Because there's a difference between Xperia, which I can never pronounce, but if you know, you know, where you have like major issues understanding speech. Like, I don't know, someone I know turning 14 here shortly. And you know how you had problems understanding that green was a thing and red was a thing?
Okay. I would just like to say,
You didn't understand any language when you should have. But there's a difference between that and some of the dancers we have they know what the words mean. They are perfectly capable of, if you go, show me green or what's green, like they can say green and like point to green or point to a square, but they have problems putting that in a sentence. They know what the words mean. They do not understand what these sentence things we talk about are. What is grammar? Grammar is hard. You're giving me a look because you think it's hard no matter what. English is terrible. Go ahead and say it.
I'm sorry, English is evil. Also, plus, it's literally just a bunch of other cultures' words wrapped into one little chaos ball of. Literally, there's no part of the English dictionary that wasn't stolen from another culture and just distorted. I mean, seriously, the people who listen, the English somehow don't just have a museum of stolen stuff. Which weird.
Can I talk now?
Yes. He knows what we're saying. I know he knows what I'm saying, because every time I say his name and go, don't go there, he runs the opposite way. I know what he knows what I'm saying.
I was muted. Most studio owners, most dance teachers, they're not trained to understand the entirety of autism. Back to the sensory issues. I've had to have parents, because they'll come in and their kid is like scratching at their tights. And I'm like, do they have a sensory issue with tights? And the parent's like, oh, well, they scratch at leggings and tights. And you want to take that.
Also, plus sometimes it could be an allergy, plus a sensory issue, which is not nice. Not nice. Not nice. Not nice at all. Not nice.
We had one student who was scratching at their bun, and I looked at the parent and went, do they like having their hair usually up in ponytails? And the mom was like, no, they usually are trying to pull out their hair. And I'm like, that's a sensory issue, mom. And the mom was like, I thought sensory issues were just texture issues. And let us not even start the number of parents who have figured out their kids have that sensory texture issues due to seams, thanks to your issues due to seams.
Okay, in my defense, also plus it kind of feels like somebody is poking you with a stick. You know, like that sense. Don't poke the bear. And yeah, you force the bear to wear the stick.
And that's one thing that I think Autistic Wings can do that makes it more than just a dance studio is we're bringing in parents who are not from the community. They're not autistic themselves, or if they are autistic, they're late diagnosed autistic. They're not like me going, hi, I don't want to tell you when I got my ADHD diagnosis as a girl because it says I may have been majorly ADHD. I hadn't even hit your age yet when I got my ADHD diagnosis.
I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why. Why? It's not like I'm not surprised at all because of the way you act every day. Lisa, just
Neurodivergent was before that.
I'm so shocking. It sounds like that kind of. Can I? Be impossible.
No, but I mean, being diagnosed in the 80s and the early 90s with this stuff, I've been in the community a lot longer than most of these parents have been. Most of these parents, autism is new. Some of our parents, this is the first time they're hearing about a lot of these different diagnoses. Some of them are newer for me because it came in the 2000s, 2010s, but I keep up with the papers. But these parents don't know things. Like we're sitting while you guys are doing classes and you get annoyed with us talking, but the parents need a community too. And they're asking questions like, does your child have this physical issue? Does your child have this physical issue? And I'm sitting there going, that's part of the autism. Did you know that's part of the autism? And they're like, wait, nobody told me that there's physical issues with this.
I would like to mention it's the hip problem is not a part of the autism. I know some of you that might be new watching this thought that it is not because of the autism. Just so I want to make that clear.
Okay, you have had people, though, with your orthopedic doing it, that might be because your orthopedic was like, let's get this paid for by insurance. This is autism related.
Yeah, that was a lot. Correct.
Your general prac also may have said, I believe this hip issue is autistic related.
All right.
Dear doctors, you can lie. No, things like, especially with ADHD or with some types of autism, insomnia is just a thing. Like I've lived with insomnia where you can't sleep, where your mind will not shut up long enough to sleep.
Yes, and that's why I turn on something to watch while I sleep. Mostly because songs while I sleep somehow wear me out, and audiobooks just wear me out because even if they're not read by the outside guy, it still weirds me out because it sounds somewhat unhinged.
Okay, so, but what I'm saying is a lot of these parents, things like that, like when I'm going, oh yeah, Lolita has a Kindle and she watches videos while she sleeps. They're like, wait, doesn't that count as screen time? I'm like, no, her eyes are shut. And I do the same thing because I cannot sleep if it's not going on in the background and it helps my insomnia and is probably healthier for you in the long run than starting insomnia meds.
I mean, great show. In that character, I leap. I mean, I don't like ballet, but it's a good movie. Also, plus, I like laughing at the fact that the main character leap fell for the Russian guy.
The other option, child, is medicine for a toddler and a preschooler. And I am not one to go, let's put them on medicines that we have not researched for children, but have researched for 30-something. Yeah, you're shaking your head like, no. But because we've got a wide variety of parents that we have parents who can help the younger parents and go this and that. They can help tell them where resources in town are, where to go look for this or that. They can discuss amongst themselves where the best therapy clinics are in town, which is a question a lot of parents have is like, hey, do you like your therapy clinic? No, I don't. But we added not just a community for our dancers, we added a community for the parents. And on the dancers, we've got you in a lot of classes. We are bringing in the adult dancers. The more we have, yeah, you're like babies. You get paid in babies. You don't get paid. I don't get paid from the studio. We're putting more money into the studio than anything else.
I would just like to say to any adult seeking the teenager that's not like watching the babies, you would be wrong. I would hit you in the back of the head if I had the ability to hit you in the back of the head. But you are wrong. The babies are adorable. I get paid in doing playtime with the babies. They are adorable. They are freaking adorable.
That is something we are creating a community where the babies, the preschoolers and the toddlers and the elementary kids, they want to come in and they want to spend time with you. You are someone they're coming in to see.
We just probably have to work on some of them and trying to refuse to leave.
We do have that problem is a few of our younger kids especially start crying when they have to leave studio because class and playtime is over. But I want to put this out that we are at the point because we cannot expand any more classes. We are at the point also where we priced our classes where the majority of families in the studio can afford them. Those who can afford to give more are donating more, which I'm fine with because they get tax deductible receipts at the end of the year. And we have families who just absolutely cannot afford dance classes. We are also at the mercy of the other studio. If you have jumped onto the Autistic Wings Dance Company socials, and I'm going to put our TikTok, Facebook, and everything in the comments below, you'll notice the podcast studio we've got down here is about the size of where y'all are dancing. We do not have a huge dance space. It's a single room. We are sharing it with another studio. Here's what we're doing. For Leta's 14th birthday, because we all remember, if you've been around, you remember Leta's 13th birthday, which was, how would you put the open house, Leta?
I'm also being door day to get taken by the Grim Reaper because apparently the Grim Reaper can't handle our big door, and also apparently nobody likes a 13-year-old. Also, I was worrying the whole time and having a somewhat panic attack. My dog was almost on death's bed, but no, it was fine. 1 minute later, it was good. It was walking. It was fine. It almost went to it. Ever loving the bridge. Like its own life flashback in its eyes. Pretty sure the whole time she was thinking, why can't I kill the squirrels? Why can't I kill the squirrels?
Let me explain that for people who haven't been around for like the past year, because it was like a year ago next week, I think that we dropped that podcast. We did an open house for your 13th and to go, hey, Autistic Wings is starting. Come check us out. Come check the studio space we have out. Come see us. We had 3 hours. 100 people on Facebook RSVP'd. No one showed up. And at the same time, we woke up that morning to the Bigador, who I think makes an appearance on the podcast finally Friday, but has never made an appearance beforehand, was suffering from HDE. She was internally bleeding. We were in a touch and go situation while we were sitting in a studio waiting for anyone to show up with a sheet cake and snacks and drinks, and nobody came. Absolutely nobody came. And it was kind of disappointing. And you kind of lost some faith in humanity over that, did you not?
Yeah. We go with a little.
You lost a lot of faith in humanity, and I don't want to do a repeat of that. So this year we decided we were going to do an online birthday fundraiser for you. If you have the ability to donate, please donate so we can keep the studio doors open, because we are at the point, if we do not get $800 in donations above what our usual donations are monthly this month, we are closing the studio doors. We cannot afford to keep going. we need to be at another 2,000 next month so we can pay to bring staff in so we can expand, but I can't expand without donors. And we're going to link that in the description below. We're also going to use this. One of the reasons we are having difficulties is we cannot expand classes. We cannot offer afternoon or evening classes, really. You're shaking your head. And we cannot offer more than one class at a time, which puts us as offering a class per a single dancer, 2 dancers, 3 dancers, 4 dancers. But that's not enough. We are turning away dancers due to space issues and to not having time for them in the evenings. We need a studio space. We need a large studio space so that we can have at least 4 studios going at a time. Correct, Leta? And here's what we're doing. We are announcing right here on Leta's Tap Styles and My Autistic Life that we are starting the 2025-2026 capital campaign to buy Autistic Wings a home studio and a large enough studio we can build an autistic-friendly, sensory-friendly, high support needs friendly, and importantly, an anti-elopement friendly. You're looking at me because you know exactly which dancers I'm talking about this. Anti-elopement friendly theater space so that our level 3 high support need dancers and our level 2 kids, the middle kids of autism, who nobody ever cares about, those medium support needs kids who are never allowed to participate in any of these programs because they're either for high support needs or low support needs. They're never for the medium support needs. A place they can safely not only attend classes, not only learn to love dance, but they can perform in performances, in concerts, and in recitals. Correct, Leta?
Yes. And also, nobody tries to put a tiny hat on Jack for like no reason other than Jack, tiny hat. It would be, that's perfect.
Like help with. The thing is, and I'm going to push this again, we need to have both fundraisers going at the same time. We need to have the general fund fundraiser going because even when we move over, we're going to need to pay for the increased insurance. We're going to need to pay for the increase in utilities. Good news is we're a nonprofit, so we are not paying for the property taxes, but we're also going to need to pay teachers and everything. And right now, it costs us about $289.98 an hour to put on classes. We're charging between $6 and $12 an hour, depending on how many classes you're taking. The more classes you take, the less we get from you. It's kind of how every dance studio works, right, Leta? She's giving me a thumbs up. But there's more. And, oh, I got to pause this real quick. Leta, can I pause this real quick? Because I left something upstairs that we need to show off. I run upstairs. You go to look at the feathers that the other dog brought in. Anyways, we have these going up in the studio.
I would like to know the shiny and also for anybody who's traumatized by glitter, the glitter doesn't come off.
They are black sugar tiles. We went with polar engraving because they were.
Are they edible?
No, please do not try to lick or eat the tiles. For our capital fund, we are selling these without the logos, with just the like 3 or 4 lines of text for $125, and they will be hanging up at our new studio. For the ones with the logo, it's $150. You do not have to have autistic wings. I may have gone ADHD overboard on the clip art that you can do for your
Yeah, I think he did. I think you did.
But there were so many cool parts.
And yeah.
You can even upload your own.
I'm just gonna go with that. Clearly my ADHD is less crazy than yours.
Well, I was diagnosed with severe ADHD. I have severe.
Yeah, and I pretty sure just have like the smallest of small.
Anywho's, we also have a 8x8 version for a mere $200 and If you want a logo on an 8x8 version, it is $250. We are hoping to sell like 2,000 to 3,000. I know this is crazy. We're twisting your hair. If you are listening, we will have a link in the description below to take you to go see a photo of them with your Sodonsa shoes, of course. We also are adding some amazing perks to our building fund. What is a building fund if you don't get perks? Some of them are a little less exciting if you don't live right here, and I did not put all of them on the website. If you buy a tile, you can add on a coaster for $10. $40 to get you a whole set of 4 coasters. If you want those for Christmas presents, I need you to place your order by October 1st to make sure they come in time. But they make great Christmas presents for all your family and friends. 2, for the higher level donations. If you are in Colorado Springs and you're donating, or you want to, fly out because you're so cool, at $250, not only do you get the tile, you also get to come to our donors only preview. At $500, our visionary donor level, you will be able to get an 4x8 or an 8x8 of your choice, one of them. No extra coasters. You got to get a hold of me for that. And you will be able to come to our opening donors only preview. You'll come to our opening night reception for our first performance, and we're going to have a founder's donor plaque that your name will be on. For $1,000, you also get to come to a private master's dance class done by none other than our vice president. So even if you're out of town, I think it's worth flying in for that one. Here's the important levels, because we need some major donations going on. And so at $250,000, if you want to even go bundle the $250,000 for me, I won't tell anyone. Leta, will you tell anyone if someone goes and finds the $250,000 for us?
No, I twist hair.
You're twisting your hair as we're sitting here talking. But for $250,000, we will name one of our dance studios after you, because there's going to be at least 4 studio spaces. We will probably be looking at more, so you'll get more stuff, or there will be more of those. But if you really want to help out, if you're like, I desperately want to get you in a building right now, Leta, so that you don't have to worry about rent going up every 5 seconds, and so you guys can expand and get that pre-professional program going along with 4 classes going at the same time and get more adult and teenage classes going. You're like cheering over there because you're like, I can't get any teenagers because they're all in school when we're doing stuff. By the way, we do have homeschool programs, link in the description. For $500,000, Leta, what did they get? Do you remember? The studio or the theater space we're building in the studio, your name is going on that theater space in perpetuity. When people walk in, when we do tickets, it's going to say your name here, theater at the Autistic Wings Dance Company Performing Arts Center. Doesn't that sound cool?
Yeah, why?
Because they paid a lot of money.
Gonna be somewhat like that. We are feeling a little bit from them. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you get the $250 name a studio or the $500,000 name a theater, guess what they also get?
To boop Jack Snoot?
No, they get a amazing private dance performance by one Leta Rundell for a corporate or private party.
We thought you were gonna say unicorn.
No, I have not found a unicorn yet. And if they're willing to put the $500,000 down to name a theater, they get to come on the podcast as our guest and talk about their company's passion or their personal passion for Autistic Wings Dance Company and what all we're doing.
Okay, that's how you were gonna say get to pet Hades' dogs.
You know my favorite part about all this? my absolute favorite part about all of this.
I can put stickers everywhere, like no available tomorrow.
No. For all of this, because a lot of it doesn't count as actual items, like putting your name on a theater isn't a fair market value item. Your tax deductible receipt is going to be ginormous.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're gonna find a giant 7-Eleven
No, so like seriously, we're looking
laser.
at no, I'm looking at the fair market value according to everyone we have talked to, all the experts, is at the $500,000 level, less than 1,000 fair market value. And next week, we are announcing the new small business program benefits for the studio. Because we've revamped our small business program. We've revamped our real estate agent program because we know real estate agents are having a little bit of a tough time, but we also know y'all can be the best peer-to-peer fundraisers anyone could ever ask for. Oh, and for small businesses, and what are you thinking, Leta?
You finished.
No, what I was going to say is for the realtors and the small business and for our individual funders programs that we're announcing next week, there is going to, on the podcast, we're going to go through it, but there's going to be a small benefit of a quarterly mixer every quarter. It's not going to be anything cool, just light refreshments, a 20-minute performance by you or one of our other dance classes, something exciting. And they get to go mix with other people in Colorado Springs, Denver, Front Range, even flying. If you're one of those people up in the $500,000 on the theater name, private jet and join us for the mixer, right, Leta?
If we're gonna say you somehow found one of those giant, cute, adorable spiders from Harry.
I've not found the giant, cute, adorable spiders from Harry Potter.
I want to put it in a princess hat.
But we need to not only focus on the capital fund, we've got to focus on the general fund at the same time. Because if we don't have the general fund, we do not have a reason to continue on the capital fund. And
Please give us a general fund. Please give us a general fund. Please, 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 please.
if you go, we are linking Leta's special birthday fundraiser in the description below. It is going to even go over some of our huge impact levels. We need to get this viral, though, that this is going on. Here's what we need.
Please make this viral. Please. Please.
If you are on our the Autistic Wings socials, please go like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't followed yet, go ahead and share.
Share, like no ever loving tomorrow. Please, 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 like no ever loving tomorrow. Like seriously, like no ever loving tomorrow. Or just make it where you send it to someone and go, watch it, think about it, and send it to somebody else that you know. So what I'm trying to say here is,
please, if you know someone who has deep pockets and can help us buy on the impact levels, we have things like sponsor a class, sponsor 1 hour of class a month at $289.98. I know that's huge. If you know someone, even hop at this, Leta, even here on YouTube, tag your favorite autistic creator.
Yeah, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that.
Tag your favorite autistic creator.
Do that.
If you're following us on our socials for Autistic Wings or even for Leta's Tap Style, tag them and tell them about this.
Do it.
Tag.
Do it.
For anyone here in Colorado Springs or anyone who's outside of Colorado Springs, tag our local news stations. 2 of them have come out, but we've still got 2 who haven't come out. But go ahead and tag them to show that people want to see this. Tag your friends, your family. If you're watching this on YouTube.
Do that. Do that.
If you are listening on the podcast streaming services, tag tag your favorite creator that you know is ADHD or autistic who is not an ADHD autistic creator. Tag your favorite. I know Jacques the Whipper just came out as ADHD. Tag him and let him know we're doing something for kids that are neurodiverse in the entertainment industry.
Now.
Jacques the Whipper. She was up at the Renaissance Fair. You kind of
Oh, you mean the one where it's going? Why? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? It's too noisy. Why am I here? Why am I here? Why does the man got a fake mustache? Why am I here? Is the mustache painted on it? Why am I here? Can that guy not grow a mustache that looks like he took a paintbrush and painted on the mustache? Why does he have a fake mustache? Why am I here? Why does he have a fake mustache? Why am I here?
your father wanted to go see the show and you're like, this is sensory overwhelm right now. You're looking at me like, yes. Tag, your favorite. I know there's a couple law tube guys who are neurodivergent. Tag them. Tag your favorite, pick your favorite artist, Livingston, who I'm pretty sure you would love to have come on this podcast and talk about being autistic and being in the entertainment industry.
I'm not cool enough.
Share, like, comment, subscribe on all of our socials for Autistic Wings over the next few days until August 17th. We are really, really going to push the fundraiser. I am leaving the Leta's birthday fundraiser live as long as the studio is up. So go ahead, click it, even though you may be seeing it past this date. Once we have filled the capital fund and we have the extras I want sitting in the bank in case something like, I don't know, a problem happens with the roof, we'll take that off the description. But, then just go donate to the general fund and anything extra we'll put towards that. Thanks for listening again. Thank you for understanding us over the next 2 weeks, going off of, tap and autism and going hardcore on the studio, what it's about. Next week, we'll talk about the 2 new ones, the real estate agents and the small business agent or small business funds and the individual donor fund. And then just, if you can't donate, please. Oh, and maybe not like, but love. And if you're on Spotify, Apple, you can copy the link and just share that on your socials and people can go listen to it. Well, the link to our website and the studio's website in the description below so that you can also share those 2 with your friends and families. Would you like to say anything to take us out?
If you have a pet, but it's no different, won't completely and totally, maybe accidentally. Yeah. And if it's a snake, wear a teeth-proof glove. But if it's probably don't do it. The birds still just don't do it. Birds are birds. I respect the birds. They don't like to be booped.
All right, we will see everyone Friday. Dr. Kristen Williamson's coming back on the show, and she's bringing a special guest on the show. Until then, thanks for all your support. Thanks for supporting Autistic Wings. Thanks for supporting our dancers. And we will see everyone on Friday.
We have Chubby Pity.
Hello, thank you for watching the Pet Podcast, and please subscribe and also look at the adorable paper. So if you want to subscribe for it, and also please leave a like. And don't forget, if you subscribe to our stuff, you won't miss any of our new podcast stuffies. And also, did you see the adorable paper? Don't you like it?